everybody, Destin Legary here. Welcome back to IGN Live. I'm here with Rod Ferguson today.
Hey.
Rod, we are talking about the Gears of War remaster, remake, what are we calling
Ultimate
it?
Edition.
Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean? Because it's Gears 1,
Right.
It looks great. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the reason we call it the Ultimate Edition is really we see it as the first at its best. You know, we didn't want to do just an up-res. This is sort of a going right back down to the core simulation and then rebuilding everything brand new on top of it. Like all 3,000 art assets have been replaced. It's running at 1080p full frame. It's 60 frames per second multiplayer, dedicated servers. It's got all the chapters from the PC version brought over, so an extra 2 hours long in the campaign, 7.1 sound. Like it's a complete sort of almost, you know, again, it's a rebuilding of it rather than sort of just an up-res of it.
Now, when I think about the campaign, one of my favorite moments is the Berserker moment. You kind of talk about her, you hear about her throughout, and then you actually encounter her. You have to take her out with the Hammer at Dawn.
Right.
What's one of your favorite memories from the first Gears?
Yeah, that's way up there for me too. Like that's the first kind of really locking in on the scared aspect of it, of like really the tension and the sweaty palms. That's where it really resonates. But you know, I still really love the moment of we keep going back to just Marcus is getting out of prison. That moment of welcome back to the army soldier. That you know that resonates so much to me. And that I think my favorite line in the whole of that game is that will we have any support? And are you kidding? You are the support.
Yeah.
I love that line and that sort of moment. Like I'm all about the narrative, and so I really love about how that story plays out.
Now, are you working with anybody else on this project?
Yeah, we have a partner, Splash Damage in the UK, and we have a number of partners we go into outsourcing and all those sorts of things, but our sort of main co-development partner is Splash Damage. So we sort of kicked it off, and we really focused on sort of identifying where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. And then we did all the cinematics in-house at the Coalition, but once we got that sort of established baseline of what we wanted to look like and where we wanted to go and some of the key design decisions, then we worked with Splash Damage on it.
So Black Tusk, formerly Black Tusk, now the Coalition is working on this game. What made you make the call to like go all Gears all the time?
It just made sense. We wanted to, you know, we focused. It's two big games with the Ultimate Edition and Gears 4, and it just made sense that this is what we are. We're a studio that makes Gears of War. So the way that 343 makes Halo and Turn 10 makes Forza, we make Gears. And so that was the whole idea behind the Coalition rebranding. It's sort of a diverse set of people who've come together with a single purpose, and that's make the best Gears of War experiences we can.
So you brought up Gears of War 4. I didn't. I have to ask you. We saw two characters in the demo.
Right,
Is it
Kate
just
and JD.
two-player?
We're not talking about that stuff. We're saying it's Kate and JD are the two characters you saw, and in our tease, and yeah, that's about as far as we're talking right now.
Okay, I'm really excited for Gears 4. Interested to see if Marcus will make an appearance or anything, or how that would work.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, if you want to try to take something away from that, I think, is to take away the kind of tone and mood we were going for. It's that when we talk to the fans about what they really wanted, you look at the trilogy from 1, 2, and 3, is that as it progressed, it became less about sort of this, the horror of the monster, and became much more almost like a military shooter where you're now on World War II shooting Nazis or something, right? Yeah. Because the locusts were kind of more well understood. And so what the fans really wanted was this idea of going back to mystery and darkness and tension, and that's what you should really take away from the Gears 4 demo.
So you're actually kind of reworking the cutscenes a little bit? How's that process?
Oh, in the Ultimate Edition? Yeah, we totally redid them. I mean, we re-mocapped it all. We got a whole new camera angles. We up-resed all the characters and everything else. You know, we rebuilt the characters. So it's just, we wanted to kind of, you know, we had a tight time frame on Gears 1, and we couldn't sort of, you know, realize everything we wanted to do in the cinematics. So this time, with the time that we had, we just decided to go and double down on it and tell the story that way we felt it could be told.
So some of the weapons in there, like the torque bow, Hammer at Dawn, they're really iconic. Did you do anything to retool them because you built the game from the ground up?
No, I mean, other than the art aspects of it. I mean, the balancing is something that was sort of natural with Gears 1. We have been trying to find this line between nostalgia and modernization, right? So you have to find like what feels good, but also helps makes Gears 1 Gears 1. Like one of the things were DB&O. When you go DB&O, in Gears 1 you couldn't crawl away, but in 2 you could. And so we were like, yeah, it's better if you can crawl away in Gears 2 and 3, but it's not Gears 1 anymore. So we're going to stick with you can't move. And so it's been those sorts of decisions we've had to do to walk this sort of like what's nostalgia versus how do you make a contemporary shooter 10 years later. And so it's been an interesting sort of selection process about where to draw that line.
Now, you can't talk about Gears of War without talking about the multiplayer aspect of the game.
Yeah.
What was it like working on the multiplayer aspect this far in the future? Like, it's got to be 1080 60 now for sure, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's 1080, 60 frames per second, dedicated servers. I mean, that was the big thing. There's a couple really big things. One was the modernization of it, right? So we looked at what's the most popular way to play Gears of War right now, and it's Team Deathmatch in Gears 3. And you go, well, okay, so that's great for social. What's the most competitive way to play? Like, where do people, when they have tournaments, where do they play? Oh, they play King of the Hill. And so we brought that Team Deathmatch and that Gears 3 King of the Hill, and we brought that down to the Ultimate Edition so that you can have those two experiences. And so that was a big part. We even have a community mode, which we found out when we did a bunch of research. We found people were going into War Machine and saying, okay, you can't leave this space and it's 2v2 Nashers. So we actually created a 2v2 Nasher mode so people could go and have that. But yeah, I mean, the big thing for us though is more than sort of the balancing, the modernization was we couldn't leverage network code from any of the other games because it's completely different between 360 and Xbox One. So, I mean, that's the reason we're doing a beta this week is that this is the first time that this network code is being tested at this scale. And we didn't want to come out at release and have some issues, and so we said, let's have a beta. And it's not like, you know, nowadays beta is code for demo, and it's so super polished, and there's no feedback, and it's just a way to get the game out there. For us, it's truly a beta. Like, we want feedback. We're testing our servers. We're at scale, and we're hoping to learn a lot because this is the first time this network code has been run for us on Xbox One.
One of my favorite maps of all time is Gridlock.
Yes.
It looks like you fixed the ability to pick up the boom shot and slide backwards as you have it. So it's all updated, like all the code is like final.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a bunch of stuff that, like I said, there's room for feedback and changes for that. But yeah, Gridlock is the iconic map. It was the first map that really defined multiplayer for us back in Gears of War 1. And so we remade it for every version that we did. And that was the very first map that we did in Ultimate Edition as well. And we wanted to see what how we were going to sort of reimagine this map, and we sort of did it much more as a stormy coastal town with the crashing waves and the lightning storms. But yeah, we've been going in and saying, like, again, going back to that finessing nostalgia, is like you have Gridlock, but Gears 1 cover was a little sticky and clunky in certain areas, and there's exploits and things that we had, and so we went back in and said, okay, let's polish this up and make it feel a little bit more like Gears 3 and make it a lot smoother.
What about some of the DLC maps? I assume they're all in there, like the one?
All of the ones from the DLC and even the 3 from PC. So you have 19 maps, plus our little special 2v2 map are all in there. So, and yeah, it's a lot of multiplayer content, and we have stuff like, we've even got LAN support. So, it's something that systemly kind of went away with Xbox One, and we're really bringing back LAN support because people want to have those tournaments in the hotel ballroom or this sort of local competitions. So we've added that in. We've added spectator mode so that people can go in, and again, for things like esports, you can have 2 people in and judging and making sure for fairness. And so yeah, there's been a lot of effort. And even we went in and improved our split screen. So in the original, you just cut the screen in half and it was sort of zoomed in. And now we've actually got sort of horizontal black bars, so you can get a truer, closer to 16:9 representation, and it's beautiful. And you can play split screen both in co-op and in multiplayer.
Can players do any sort of custom game types?
Custom game types? Well, I mean, that's something we can do as an event in terms of changing things on the back end, but it's not something that you can do. But what's cool is you can play with it in that you can start up your own private match. And what's cool is that when you do a private match, you're actually still hosting on a dedicated server. So even when you're doing stuff on your own and setting your own parameters, it goes to a dedicated server, so you don't have things like Gears 1 had, which was like host advantage.
Speaking of host advantage, host shotgun, that was a big problem with Gears of War 1.
Yeah.
How have you addressed that issue?
Mainly dedicated servers, but also we've done a lot more in terms of client-side hit detection. So that was, again, really fundamental, deep change in the game. But Gears 1 had server-side hit detection, and so there was a lot of problems where by the time it went up and came back down, the result might be different than what you thought you saw. Yeah. And so now by having that client-side hit detection, it's a lot truer, and you don't have as much of that issue. And then on top of that, you put dedicated servers, and that issue goes away.
Out of all the weapons, I love weapons in video games. What's your favorite one in the Gears of War series?
Oh, I mean, it has to be the Lancer. I mean, I know that for multiplayers, it's the Nasher, but for me, the Lancer, that idea that and in fact, I'll go out and die a bunch of times just trying to get a chainsaw kill just because it's so satisfying. So I love the Lancer. Yeah. What about you?
Boom shot, easily.
Oh, yeah.
Because you get that long range boom shot and get 1, maybe 2 people and just giblets all over the place.
Right.
You know, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
A lot of this terminology was created by Cliff Blazinski. Did you work with him at all on the project?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've been with, I was with Epic from 2005 and worked on all three and with Cliff, and so yeah, I mean we worked really closely together, and so when I left, he left around the same time from Epic, and he's got his own thing going now with Boss Key, and I'm now doing the Coalition. So, but yeah, it was great working with Cliff. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Well, Rod, thank you so much. Gears of War was one of my favorite games on Xbox 360, so I can't wait to get home and get into the multiplayer beta.
That's awesome. Well, and you can check it out at the booth as well. We have the new Elite controllers over there, so you should check it out.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. And for more on E3, just keep it locked right here on IGN Live.